strategy. And this strategy needs to be a choice-based strategy and works as follows, if I can break it up into steps. One, where I communicate to the child clearly that this is the time I have to help you from this point to that point. Especially if I'm working from home as well. I give the child a specific time slot where I am available to assist. Not where the child has to use my assistance, but where I am available to assist. And in order to make that workable, I will, as a parent, make sure that the screens are off, the other distractions are off, that the phones are off, that I limit the level of distraction during that time, and that I then ensure that I am where I said I would be. In other words, I'll be waiting for you at the kitchen table or wherever it is that we do our homework. And I may, let's say we want to start at 3, I may even then offer you reminders moving from 2 o'clock onwards that we have X amount of minutes and then we have to start with homework. If at that point the child expresses feelings of irritation, my job as a parent is to respond on an empathetic level, but also on a structural level. Empathetic being, I know this is irritating, I know you don't want to, you hate doing homework in the afternoon, you would rather watch TV, etc., etc. I would acknowledge the point of view of the child, but I would restate the structure, meaning I would say, but bear in mind, I have decided as mom or dad, which means it's non-negotiable, that I am available to assist you during a certain period of time. Then, when the time arrives, I go to the place I said I would be. I call the child. I wait. I don't every 2 minutes scream, shout, where are you? Why aren't you here yet? I don't do that. I don't, at that point, if I've given the child the reminders it needs, I just wait, because now the child is confronted with a decision-making process of understanding that I have mom as a resource which I can or cannot use, depending on how I feel, but there will also be an outcome. The outcome, of course, is that, let's imagine the child is 20 minutes late because of other distractions, or not wanting to come. I do not add another 20 minutes to my time of involvement. Once I've committed the time that I said I would, I am no longer available to assist the child. It's so important in this scenario that I do not rescue the child. But let's imagine the child arrives late, work doesn't get finished, then I have to say to the child, yeah, empathy, you're upset about this, but I did give you the structure, I did give you reminders, you decided to be late. So the result is that you have to do the rest of this on your own. And screens and other fun things will only become available once you've completed these activities. I may even go so far as to write or type a note at that point to the teacher saying it was 20 minutes late for his appointment with me. So now, if the goal of parenting is decision making and problem solving, the child has now learned that if I do not access this support, I will be left with a heavier burden and I will disadvantage myself. On the other hand, if I use the support system that's available to me, I will do better. If ultimately the child keeps arguing with me about the work it has to do, I will then refer the child back to the teacher. Whether that's telephonically or via Skype, but I'll set up a communication between the child and the teacher where I will then expect the child to explain to the teacher why it's not complying. And it's that type of social pressure that's ultimately much more powerful than trying to control a child or threaten a child or take away belongings, because all that does is it puts you in a position where you have to be even more controlling, and it just loads the relationship with resentment and stress. So think about this. The first step we spoke about was working really hard at keeping yourself emotionally healthy, which means I have to allocate time for that. And in terms of work to be done, I try to avoid a controlling approach, but I use what one could call a more systemic approach, where ultimately the child has to face the consequence of his decisions, and where tomorrow I'll give him an opportunity to try again. Now, you may agree or not agree with what I've suggested, but if you do disagree, assess what you're doing and see if you can find an approach which carries the least damage to the parent-child relationship. Thank you for your time. It's been wonderful to chat to you again. We'll do that again next week, and I'm hoping to spend time specifically on the child with ADD and ADHD. So I look forward to you joining me. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Good luck.